I'm not gonna lie, this is the reason why I hate my current account. Honestly, when it comes down to things, I don't like that we're small, because when situations like this come through, I make a video on it, or at least try to explain in some shape and form why it's not the way you think it is when it comes to anything anime related, but then can't necessarily get any type of people watching the damn video because obviously I'm not well known like that, and it's annoying as shit, but I still have to do it anyway because, you know, can't let this shit slide. So when it comes down to things, as you might know, EDP445 needs to be called, end up basically coming back to the internet again. Granted, he never really left, but he came back again and essentially come through and make this ironic ass bar of a video talking about how we should protect our kids, which yes, we should. From N-words like that, let's be perfectly honest, no, like 100%. That is the people that we should be protecting it from. We don't need to be listening to someone else that's already done some pretty horrible shit, by the way, who hasn't apologized about any of the shit, and then we're supposed to be listening to him and taking his advice and his word for it? Like, no shit, that should be commonplace and freaking rule number 1. That should be class 101 of things you should do, you know, to honestly be a decent human being. If you see a kid actually in trouble and they about to be in some horrible situation, say they ass, obviously, you know. And obviously there's like a whole bunch of other parts of the spectrum where it's difficult because sometimes kids will throw themselves into that situation and even know that they're doing it, and it's horrible and it's ridiculous and it's annoying as shit, but still, they don't need to be in that situation at all. Like, that just genuinely is how it is. You know, obviously this is coming off of the whole Mr. Beast and his friend Chris, that sort of thing, which I have I have knowledge of it, but I don't really have that much knowledge of it because I just didn't care to, you know, bring up that type of topic and conversate about that. But it's just so crazy how so many people hear what he said in this video, and then people agree with this man, agree on protecting kids, fine, that's fine. But literally agreeing to someone, oh, he may not be as bad as I thought he was. Man, if you don't shut your bitch ass the hell up, you don't talk about a gosh damn thing. Like, bro, what exactly are you on, bro? That's the equivalent of someone being like, oh, don't put your hand in the toaster when it's burning and it's on, because I did the exact same thing. Of course I'm not gonna freaking do that. It's common sense not to do that. This is literally coming from a man who literally still do the whole eating cupcakes on video type of thing as a reference to it, like he's proud of that shit, like it's some type of medal, like, yeah, I was about to do something with this kid, that's great. No, it's not. What the hell is wrong with you people? Honestly, the internet is weird for the people that agree with him, and it's also weird that he's just here and still no one, like, done anything about that, honestly. Even when he was on TikTok, guess what he was still doing? Talking to kids. Why? I don't freaking know. It's so dumb. It doesn't make any kind of sense. You know what this is? This is just a man's pathetic attempt to get back on the internet, to try to get back in good graces of people, even though he already screwed that up. That's essentially what this is. And when it comes to the whole thing of anime, what this essentially is just him trying to take blame off himself. Like, yeah, I did a bad thing, but also, this should be something that we also should be concerned about. Like, no, let's not ignore that you did a bad thing, dude. You did a bad thing. You don't change just like that, honestly. That's not what just happened. And since you keep referencing yourself eating cupcakes and shit, still talking to minors and whatever, dude, you haven't changed for shit. I don't see how anybody can see that this man has gone through some crazy ass change. He has not. He has not. No, absolutely not. Don't even let him. We shouldn't even have to make a video about this man. He's still getting damn clout. Man gonna be freaking out somewhere just where no one is, you know, even questioning where he is, and yet still people are still gonna give him this man some time and energy, and it makes no kind of sense. Shouldn't you be more worried about your own health and your kidney failure that almost happened, or whatever it was that you suffering with health wise? Shouldn't you be more worried about getting yourself in shape for that, honestly, instead of worrying about everything else in your internet fame, or at least your infamous internet fame? You don't need to be worried about that. And as far as the whole anime and things about Chris kind of go, I don't know about Chris. I don't know who really much about him and all that type of stuff, and I genuinely do not care. I do know about Shadman though. I obviously have made a video about him, saying that he was one of the more not so great artists, honestly. I did an artist unappreciation video about him and how horrible he was. He looted his own mother for Gentai material. Do you think I have any kind of respect? Absolutely not. When it comes down to things, yes, he does draw some material that may not be up to your liking. And you know what? Fine. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. But guess what? There is a market for people that still likes those kind of characters. There's, you know, like Lolly and Shota characters and stuff like that. There is a market of that. Genshin has a market of that. VTubers are a market of that in some shape and form. Like Henya. What, you gonna start bullying Henya again over because you don't like what she looks like and stuff? Or anybody that remotely look like that? This is partially the reason why the internet is so brain dead when it comes to this topic, because no one wanna learn and listen to somebody when they trying to literally explain the topic that is at hand. B, talk to people about why do they like this type of nonsense and go about it in an unbiased ass way, because we can't, you know, put ourselves down for 10 seconds. And it's just frustrating. It's just absolutely frustrating, and it just makes zero sense. Again, ain't nobody trying to force you to like it. It is what it is. If you don't like it, fine. Just ignore it. People do like it though. There is a bunch of people that absolutely still do like it in this day and age. Hell, without it, anime wouldn't even be half the thing it is without those characters. Honestly, without those moments that they had to insert them in, we wouldn't have half the shit that's in anime, honestly. You know, it just is what it is with that point. I literally dedicated a whole fat playlist about all the stuff regarding lollies that you probably should know if you're just curious to know what is it really like, what is the history of lolly, why does it exist, and all this sort of stuff, and what actually is the term meaning, because majority of you people that's probably new and watching this video probably don't know what the hell a lolly actually means. And people on the internet that haven't even talked to it before obviously knows what it means too, obviously, that knows more about anime. And this is also another thing, stop bringing up anime when you don't know shit about the damn anime or about anime in general. I am so tired of it. People be having debates with lolicon people and be having no sense of what anime is, yet be trying to have these damn debates. Stop doing that. There has only been one sensible debate on YouTube that I found, which I can't find a video of that, but it was basically two guys being like anime fans. However, they were just like, oh, well, I don't necessarily like lolly because it's just not my cup of tea, but I ain't gonna stop you if you like it. And the other person's like, no, it's cute, they're fun, you know, I think they're pretty okay. So, you know, and it's average Joes, your basic average men. And if honestly, I would congratulate those men, because for once in my life, I've seen somebody be actually sensible on the internet for once. One of the big reasons why Shadman absolutely sucks and this isn't acceptable with his art is because he literally tried to take the actor of different shows or movies that he ended up watching and essentially threw him in the art. He didn't even separate it, honestly, when it comes to the art. This is the main thing when it comes to it, and this is just my personal opinion when it comes down to things. If you're going to take a character that has only been portrayed as a real life actor, and you know, that's it, and if you're going to do that type of art and whatever, try to make the person look different, or don't make them look like the actor. But Shadman was heavy ass focused on that, and that's why it's freaking weird. Honestly, just don't make them look like the actor. Do not. That's such a simple thing to do. If you're gonna go down that route, honestly, it's still gonna be crazy, but at the end of the day, at least it doesn't look like the actual person that played as that character, you know? So that's just personally when it comes down to it. Again, I'm just overly tired when people just like have this one thing that they did, and then they thinking, oh, if I shift the blame somewhere, then maybe, you know, we can actually have another type of discussion and dialogue going. No, that's not how it works. You did something bad, you must dwell in it. Maybe down the line, if you stop being an ass and get the hell off the internet for a couple of years, maybe you will actually be a different person. I would like to believe that could be possible, but you ain't. No. I fear that literally one day in this world, that people are going to try to keep blaming shit and put it on something else, even though they did their own wrong. And it's going to get to the point where they're going to put so much blame on everything else, to the point it's going to literally ruin society and how it is. To the point we're gonna get to a point where people are gonna try to blame stuff and put on everything else, and no one sees the actual problem until they run out of things to put blame on. Literally, that's how it's gonna be, and it's gonna be going into some destructive ass behavior, and that's literally how this is gonna go. That's what I literally believe is what's gonna happen. So when it comes down to things, honestly, even if this man comes through and apologizes for his actions, which he probably never will and will take it to the grave, as he will want to do something with some cupcakes and some nonsense, when it comes down to things, this man literally, even if he apologizes, does not necessarily excuse what he did. Honestly, and it happened again multiple times. An apology does not necessarily take away that you're about to put a child in danger, honestly, when it comes down to things. Hell, it just doesn't make any sense. And again, that you want to put on anime and lolicons more specifically is crazy to me. There's lolicons that actually help out some real kids, to the point they actually want to, you know, whether it's like spreading charity links or like literally making Twitter accounts where it is to, you know, go to them and refer to them if someone's trying to act like a predator to somebody else. And they have stuff like that. Not everyone is on the same boat, but a lot of people do understand that, you know, this is a really, I guess, morally messed up type of topic, but at the same time, it's fiction. It really shouldn't matter, even though people make it a big deal when it's really not the biggest a deal. In fact, if you were talking about, oh, well, this is more dangerous than EDP, I would trust EDP with my kid. What kind of nonsense hellboy are you talking about? That doesn't make any kind of sense. Dude, when it comes down to things, stop trying to listen to this man. Don't even give him the time of day. I'm not even gonna put his picture in the video, because guess what? He don't deserve that attention, because he's a piece of shit, and he needs to just absolutely focus on himself, reflect on things, though he probably never will, because he doesn't give a damn. But when it comes down to things, people need to just stop listening to this man, or listen to anybody that has like a shit take like that. Honestly, it doesn't necessarily make any kind of sense to me. You know what all this really comes down to, and what it is? He just stirring up some shit just to basically get his name back out there. And guess what? He's getting it back out there. He's becoming popular again. People are interviewing this man just because people are talking to him still. He is still living well. Like, even though he did all this stuff, it doesn't make any sense. And then you have literally people that's trying to tell you the truth of what it is and how things are and how things should go, yet you don't listen to them, but you just completely ignore them and sideline them, and then literally try to cancel them, even though they're trying to tell you the actual truth, and it doesn't make any kind of sense. Literally, Twitter has to be one of the most dumbest spaces of people I've ever seen, especially if you're getting folded and believing this man and how he is and literally everything when it comes to that sort of thing. It doesn't make any kind of sense. I just wanted to basically make a video about that, honestly. I was going to do something else different, but I guess I'll have to save it for literally tomorrow's video, I suppose. But I wanted to talk about that because I didn't even know that that was even a thing. And of course I wasn't going to let that slide when it comes to anything law related, because we already have enough problems with that shit as it is, and people being ignorant. The last thing I want to see is it going to a point where people have to step in, especially of governmental power, to step in and try to shut down certain things within the fictional space. And it won't, just like what Pixel did, it won't be the only thing it's gonna get shut down. It's not gonna just shut down lolly and all that type of stuff. It's gonna shut down your furry shit. It's gonna shut down your gore shit. It's gonna shut down basically anything that is deemed bad, and literally it's just gonna shut everything down, honestly. You know, so don't for one second think, oh, this one thing gets shut down perfectly fine, or you know, this don't need to exist. You shut one thing down, everything gonna get shut down. That is a promise, and I know it because why? I've seen it. So when it comes down to things, that's basically all I really want to talk about for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Patreon is available as well. Now until then, it's Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.